3. I want more speed runs. Turtle, we all do. So thank you so much for your donation to help make that happen. And I've got $10 from Lock02 that says a donation for my favorite host. Lock, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. All right, I have got word that we are ready for our next run. Let's take it over to Lurven with Dishonored Any %.
So yeah, hello, I'm Lurven. I'm going to be running Dishonored. With me I have a co-commentator.
I'm SOM1LSE, and
Figured out.
don't run this category, but I know a lot about the game.
Yeah, figured out how to pronounce his name based on the spelling. That's always fun.
Fun puzzle.
So we're going to be starting from save here, and I'll start this counting down now. 3, 2, 1, go.
Right, so right at the start, he's going to alert a guard. That's not intentional. He's going to do a glitch called an elevator. And yeah, it's self-evident why it's called an elevator.
Oh no, Corvocopter. That's
also going to do a different glitch called a Corvocopter.
Yeah.
Also self-evident. So yeah, it lets him get on top of that building to do to jump over a cutscene trigger. And next up, there's a cutscene which gives us some time to talk about the game.
Yeah. So Dishonored is a game made by Arcane Studios. It is supposed to be like a stealthy assassination game where you creep around and you like skulk in the shadows and try to take out targets that way. But because we know all the levels and know quite a lot about the game, we will be doing a lot of tight jumps. We will be doing a lot of teleportation and very fast-paced movement to get around the maps. So you'll see that coming up soon.
It's also a pretty artsy game. It still looks pretty good even today, despite it being almost 10 years old. This place in particular, I think, has a very nice view, but when playing the game casually, it actually looks quite a lot better than this, because in order to gain higher FPS, we have to put the game on like basically the lowest settings to make it consistent, and modify some INI files to make it look even worse for reasons Lurven will explain now.
And that's because of things like the elevator, like you already saw me fail over there. That is a glitch that works on any 90-degree corner in the game. Like this bush, basically an elevator allows you, if you jump into it in the right way, you can climb any 90-degree corner all the way to the top, and then you'll be standing, in this instance, on top of an invisible fence. And it will help us gain height. Oh yeah, assassins on the roof.
All right, nailed it.
Yep.
So
good fight.
That looks weird, but the reason why it works is it's a tutorial fight, and the game, it can end in two ways: either by fighting them or by just taking enough damage for the game to just let you move on. And the easiest way to take damage is to fall a great distance. It's actually it's actually very precise, because if you jump off just slightly before Lurven did here, he would do it before he gets his weapons, and then he would actually die from the fall damage. The fight has to start in order for him to not die. And also,
Find Emily.
If you're too late, you end up taking an extra cutscene before this one's place, and so that's a lot of time loss as well.
Yeah.
So right now, you're seeing the inciting incident of the run. It's the story starting. So our girlfriend here is now dead, and in order to, well, put the blame on someone, this bold guy right here is going to blame us for the whole thing. He's going to try to like really ruin our reputation and really, try to mess with our, what's it called?
What's the word? It's right at the tip of my tongue. I can't quite remember.
Something about Dishonored. Right.
That's the word for it.
Yeah.
Thank you, game.
Right. Thank you.
So yeah.
So we've been dishonored. Now we're in prison. And thankfully for us, this prison has horrible security. They installed elevators all over the place.
And so forgot to put in a roof.
And forgot to put in a roof. Bad combination.
Not very well managed.
Yeah, so first here we're going to eat the bread that this man just gave us. And inside of the bread there's a key. We'll open this first door. Right after that though, we're going to be going through another door, and that one's a little bit weirder. And that's because we can just stand here, jump at it like that, and we're through. And then elevator all the way up here, and we're on top of the prison.
Yeah, that's a sort of unique clip to get through the door. It's not really used anywhere else in the run.
And that basically allows us to skip the entire prison level.
Yeah.
So now we're just running out to the door to get to the next level, which is right over here in the sewers. Darn it. Oh.
He was trying to do a trick there called a vault, which gives him a slight speed boost forward, and both of them messed up.
Yep.
Those are pretty precise. Now, coming up is the sewers, and it's quite different from last time this game was at GDQ. So we've always known about this out of bounds, but we haven't really been able to use it. But a guy by the name of Votium found a way around that. Coming up is a damage cancel where he does a jump, and that makes him fall slightly farther. And then the way the game works is if you fall too far, there's an animation that plays, or kind of braces against the ground. But if you fall just slightly farther, you take damage, and the animation is skipped. And that's called a damage cancel, and it basically means whenever he takes damage from like fall damage, it's probably intentional. Right here's the wall that we didn't know how to get over, but it turns out you can sort of line up in a funny way and then do sort of 2 stacked jumps, which lets you just get over it. That was found by a guy named Votium, and it changes the route. If you notice, there's a objective marker pointing back to where he's supposed to pick up his gear, and yeah, he's not picking it up. We're not going to be using it.
Yep. The gear is really useful. It gives you like a crossbow, it gives you a sword, and those might seem like they would save time overall, but there's like a 15 to 20 second cutscene that plays when you pick it up, as well as you having to then walk in bounds, which means there's doors in the way, there's things you gotta pull, there's crank wheels you gotta do, and skipping that cutscene skips all of that as well. Also, whenever you have your sword out in this game, you run a little bit slower, so in order to not run slower, we just skip the sword in its entirety. So not only does it save like 20-30 seconds here at the start, but it also just saves time every single time we would have our sword out for the rest of the run as well.
Yeah, but that does mean that we'll need to find other gear. So if you haven't played the game, it's a sort of stealth assassination game. So later missions will have targets that we'll have to take care of. And not having equipment to be able to deal with them means we'll have to find different equipment.
Yep. And yeah, we'll get most of that equipment right here. Pick up some along the way, but mostly just all of it here. This is the Hound Pits pub we're coming into. This is our hub area of the game. We'll come back here intermittently. And mostly it's just talking to people and then going on missions over here. But yeah, I guess you can explain storage skips now since we have the first one coming up.
Yeah,
the first
so
very visible
storage
one.
skips. Yeah, the storage skips were discovered by a guy named Ari, and commonly referred to by the acronym. And the one that's coming up here is sort of a good demonstration of it, because there's a cutscene that he can skip normally, and then you'll see in the bottom left corner there's like a wheel that has to turn around, coming up right here.
We can continue this later.
But then he can hold F after this, like release it and then press it again, and then he can actually store that skip into this cutscene, and then it skips it instantly.
Yeah, so that's going to be used all over the place.
Yeah, we're not going to point them all out.
Yeah, we already did one in intro even.
Yeah. Then coming up here is also another sort of funny glitch, also discovered by Votium, but this one was discovered on accident.
Yeah, huge shoutouts to Bo. So basically right here I have jump bound to my scroll wheel, because that's PC gaming. So I'm going to be jumping right before this loading screen happens. And that should now make it so that when we wake up in our bed here, we end up going through the roof all of a sudden. And now we're, it just happens to be that if you press jump before that loading screen, the game just warps you upwards through the roof. And that just happens to be where we want to go. And so it's very useful.
And now we have magical powers. We have an ability called Blink, which is a short-range teleport. It uses a resource called mana, you can see in the top left corner. He's also picking up potions that will restore his mana bar. And the run is really precisely routed out, so he'll ideally use all of his mana by the end of it and pick up enough potions. And that's a part, like whenever you want to implement a strategy, it not only matters that it's faster, it also matters how much mana it uses, because otherwise you'll have to cut other ones.
Yeah, so that's a really big part of routing for this game.
Yeah. And here's where we get our equipment. So the game has like 4 pre-order DLCs, depending on where you bought it from. And we're going to use all of them. They were sold later as like a combined pack. And it includes a bone charm, which gives us a slight buff, and also 2,000 coins. So we'll just be buying a bunch of equipment from this store, and then we'll never have to worry about equipment ever again.
This kind of breaks the balance of the game, but
Yeah.
for speedrunning purposes, it's very, very useful. This is what the yes and any % yes refers to, is whether or not you use those pouches and that bone charm.
Ready to go?
And
we should
now we're
have
leaving
time.
for the first mission. So yeah, we should have time for at least 2 donations here.
Yeah, you've got it. We have got Shotgun Ninja with $25. They say, always happy to donate to a worthy cause. This last year and a half has been hard around the world, and the work we're doing here by donating helps the people who have been impacted the hardest by COVID-19. Can we get a $25 train going? Sounds like someone heard them, because we've got Barlack with $25 who says, every marathon is improved by the presence of KZ Fru. Let's get this done. Thank you very much for those donations. And of course, they're referencing the bonus game number 2, Grand Theft Auto 3 incentive. So let's get that train rolling.
Oh yeah.
Coming up. Oh,
No, go.
okay, yeah. So coming up is the first mission. The target is the High Overseer Campbell. He's the sort of leader of the religious faction. He's bad, trust us. And there's a very like neat. It's not even a glitch. It's just a very precise blink. It's coming up, where he can blink over a wall of light, which is essentially a kill trigger. See right here? He blinks just over it. And then coming up is a target that he's supposed to rescue. It's Overseer Martin. You can see the arrow pointing to him. But it turns out if you don't rescue him, then there's a door that won't open. But there's this interesting glitch in this game called the slip clip. And the way it works is, you'll see it right here. It works basically how it looks. He can lean into a wall and then strafe into it to push the camera through it. And blink is based on the origin of the camera, not the player character. So by blinking, you can just go straight through it. And then is the first sort of FPS dependent trick, which was also mentioned during the interview. This one's called Sample, after, you'll see it right here. Nailed it, nice.
Woo!
So the way that works is on a very particular frame, if you interact with Samuel, it'll just skip 15 seconds of dialogue. And in order to make that consistent, we set the frame rate to 5 frames per second. And then we have like a setup for it.
Admiral Havelock and Lord Pendleton are in the courtyard. I expect they'll want to congratulate you.
So
Maybe
yeah,
time for
right
donation.
here.
I guess, or
Yeah,
you
we
wanna
got
say
time.
something?
We got time. No. We got time.
All right. 2 tickets to the train from Phallip Gollum. Says, you're full of surprises, Lurven. Good luck on the run, and thanks for all you do for the Dishonored community. I've
Thank
got
you so much.
$5 from Bill the Penguin. They say, I am so proud
Hey,
of
Bill.
Lurven, one of the best people I know, loving SGDQ.
Thank you,
Thank
Bill.
you so much for these donations. We really appreciate them.
That really means a lot. So right here, it's the second intermission, and we're just going to be going down into the basement to take care of some zombies that are hanging out here. With a little bit of that. Yeah, the trick we did on the last one, last split, the FPS trick, it's really not cheating to lower our FPS there, because you can do the trick at higher FPS. It's just to make it more consistent. It is one of those tricks that took a lot of time to learn, and it was one of the ones where, yeah, like I said in the interview, it really is very tight to do.
Yeah, he made it look easy, but he has missed it in practice because it is quite precise.
Yeah.
I'll get you as close
Yeah,
So we
it's
got time for
boat
another
ride,
donation
so
here?
that's
Cat, Corvo.
what he said.
Cool.
Yeah.
Go the rest of the way.
$50 from Valentin. They say, no wonder the outsider gave you his mark, seeing how easily you escaped both prison and the laws of physics. Looking forward to seeing what your adventure has in store next.
Oh, there's more of that. Where, in terms of
yes.
physics breaking, we're not done.
No, we're not.
Yeah, so the game is going to drop just for 2 seconds here, and doing that, and we're back. And now it's on to the Golden Cat.
Folks used to fight off the plague.
Yeah, so this mission has probably the most targets. It has 3 targets. 2 of them are assassination targets. The first one is a rescue target. She's the girl from the first mission who was kidnapped, and we're going to, yeah, we have to rescue her first. Before that, they've actually fixed the security hole. So
Yeah,
we
we're in
actually
the
have
same
to
area as
pull out.
earlier, so
Yeah.
we actually have to pull out the tank this time instead of just blinking over the wall of light.
Yeah.
And then we went in a different direction, and we're going into the Golden Cat now.
And this mission is also the first sort of RNG mission. It's not actually very bad, because it turns out it's basically the same speed if you do it well. So at this point, he rescues Emily. The game is now on a timer because she's running towards the door, and he clips out of bounds. And he got what's called good luck. You can tell that based on the lights next to the door. So he knows exactly where the targets are, and he'll just use a grenade and a spring razor to get rid of them. And he made sure that he got the potion there because they are very important, as mentioned earlier. He's also going to deviate here to pick up some extra potions that normally would lose time, but because we are on a timer otherwise, we have to wait for Emily to get all the way down to the door. And you can see she's just turning around here. So, because of that, we have time to just pick up extra potions because it's on a timer. And that's also why it doesn't really matter if it's good or bad luck. One is harder and more tight, but if you do it well, you can fit it in. And
You
also
can always
here,
beat Emily to the door.
yes, exactly.
Corvo, you
And
must have worked
here,
wonders out there in the
you also notice that he ended up with no mana at the end of the mission. He's actually going to get a full regen after this. So
Yeah.
that's also routed in.
Yeah, so the game will just randomly give me full regeneration of my mana bar at the end of this cutscene, and so we just want to make sure we use as much as possible because not using all your mana is usually slow. So then you could probably just blink one more time and save like a second. This cutscene's really long though, so we got time for at least 3 more donations.
Yeah, you
Probably
got
even
it.
more.
This $25 train is leaving the station. We've got $25 from Chimichanga Jones. They say $25 train. Chugga chugga choo choo. Choo, choo. We got $25 from Swedish Way. They say $25 train. Let's see some GTA 3 speedrun. Mr. Funkmaster gives $25. Says $25 train. Choo choo. Thank you so much, Chad.
Keep them coming. More time.
All right, we've got
Yeah.
$25 from Keychin. They say, are you saying I can pay to make GDQ last longer? Take my money.
Can I see it?
Yes, you can. That's what these bonus games are for. We get a met,
yeah.
you get more GDQ.
Good.
I've got
one more?
$25 from Anonymous. They say, Dishonored speedruns got me into SGDQ in college, so I gotta jump on this $25 train. Good luck to the runners.
Hey, you.
You do not fail to impress. Armed with a blade.
I've got $20 from Vylons. Say, hey Dan, long-time viewer, first-time donator here. Good luck on the run, and may the flooded gods be with you. Lurven bless.
In one
Thank
night,
you, thank you.
you've done more than most men.
Managed to fit
Levin's
in the
real
dad
name
joke,
is-
didn't you?
To you soon.
Yeah, Levin's real name is
Lord
Dan-ish.
Pendleton requests your
Yeah.
attention.
Definitely.
Definitely. So this intermission is pretty simple. There's one hard blink coming up. It's pretty tight. It's unnecessarily tight. Doing it like this saves like a third of a second. But I'm gonna try anyway. I missed, darn it.
Yeah.
You can
But you
jump in
didn't
a very
soft lock.
specific way to get over that guy.
Off to
Yeah,
Caldwell's Bridge.
at least I didn't
You
soft
didn't
lock.
soft lock. That's the good news.
Just climb aboard when you're ready.
So yeah, that's one of the things when we've been routing out, trying to get new world record contender routes, is trying to save those very small points of time. And then you have to make everything perfect, otherwise it's not good enough. And that kind of optimization gets added.
In the city for years.
Yeah, Levin's SOB is like
With the late Empress.
31:35, I think.
Yeah.
Something to look out for.
And that is, for reference, like 20 seconds or so off the world record, also held by Lurven.
You're gonna have to show us
So there's really not a lot of slack, and especially there's a later mission that can really change that. Also, this mission is kind of funny. So Samuel has this dialogue at the start of each mission, but this one actually continues past the boat ride. So this is the one place where Lurven will actually be conserving mana rather than going fast, because he has to actually wait for Samuel to stop talking, otherwise the objective won't progress.
So yeah, you can see my mana bar refilling slowly before I blink here. And then as soon as the quest pop-up happens on the door, I can go through.
Now I can blink again.
And now we're blinking. all the time.
Yep. Coming up is also not really a glitch, just a really cool and satisfying trick called the double blink. You'll be seeing it right here. So the way that works is...
Uh-oh.
Alright, we're back on track. So the way that works is when you blink, the game conserves your momentum. So if you blink just at the start of a double jump, you actually have time to do another blink before you land on the ground again.
Yep, and here we have an FPS trick coming up. Oh, I even got that. Very nice. A little bit of a teleportation at the start. And now I'm going to be trying to get into a very specific position and then entering this cutscene in a specific way, loading a quick save. And yeah, got it.
That's
so
called
entering like
Sam-a-love.
that's called Sam-a-love, and entering like that allows us to skip like 6 seconds of cutscenes.
Yeah, it's less precise than the previous one, but it's also it doesn't save us much time. Or like it's as precise, but you control the timing more.
Yeah. It's not as finicky, it's not as arbitrary. Much better.
Yeah,
We got
so
time for
frame
like
perfect.
at least one donation, probably 2.
It'll be a shock.
Sure, chat. If you think you can throw us off our game here at donations, we're keeping up with you. We've got a $250 donation from Anonymous,
Oh.
a $250 donation from Bobot, and a $25
Nice.
donation from Freaky Reeky that says, all aboard!
This game has a lot of cutscenes, so there's plenty of time for donations.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we
I
can do
want
one
more
more
even.
now.
Yeah.
Sure, we've got BT Savage with $25 says, taking the $25 train all the way to 400K. Let's go. And we are very, very close to $390,000 raised. Let's see if we can hit that 400K
Nice.
by the end of this run.
This is what you were
Oh, that'd be really fun.
I decided
That would be
to
great.
nap here in your room while Callista was
So
hanging
another
out.
intermission. This one has a really new and quite finicky clip. And yeah, someone can get into why it's finicky while I try to do it.
Yeah, so whenever you want to clip through a wall, because of like Corvo's movement, there's a lot of factors that matter. So the run-up is one thing, but also the thickness of the wall, and that wall is a particularly just very thick wall, so the timing is very precise. And he also has to look down while doing it because that pushes his camera slightly forwards. And also just the geometry of the rocks afterwards is just sort of awkward to get over, and it can sometimes just block you and lose you a bunch of time. But that didn't happen here. That was like very smooth.
Yeah.
Also, this mission is infamous among speedrunners. So it's called Lady Boyle's Last Party. It's known as The Mask of Red Death if you've read Edgar Allan Poe, or the RNG Fest if you are a speedrunner. The last mission that had RNG in it didn't really matter as long as you were just fast enough. But this one, it definitely matters. There are 3 potential targets, and depending on where they spawn, it can completely ruin a run. So it can lose about 15 seconds if you get bad luck, and that means there's like 6 seconds of slack at most
Yeah.
to get a
So
world record.
yeah, it's not feasible to do it like that. So in very quick succession here, we're going to run to the left while blinded, take out this lady, go up here, read the note out of bounds, blink back down here. Hope we got good RNG. We did not.
No. So he was hoping that the one he killed there was Asthma. Then he was reading an out-of-bounds note, and if it had been Asthma, the game would have just went, all right, well, you must have killed the target because you read the corresponding note. That didn't happen, and so because the game was actually in a bugged state, because he read a note he wasn't supposed to read, he just had to kill all of the potential targets.
Yeah.
Because killing the one the game was actually pointing to wouldn't have worked.
Yeah.
He also gave a note to a guy called Lord Shaw, and it's sort of surprising that saves time, but in the next intermission, he will be talking to someone, and that guy will either bemoan him for not giving him the note, or praise him for killing the guy. But if we give him the note and then not kill him, just move on, then both of his dialogue lines are skipped.
Yeah. So
It ends
the
up being
note that
faster.
we gave to Lord Shaw, we never actually picked up because of the clip we did in the last intermission. So we'll see a bit more of that later on as well. Items just popping out of places they don't
Yeah.
really make sense that they're there in the speedrun. And the speedrun is definitely canon, right?
Definitely. It's not like we have a different category for doing all the canon choices or anything.
No. So for the rest of this intermission, there really isn't much going on. This is the cutscene where it saved the time on the lines. So we can do like 2 or 3 donations here.
Absolutely. Twitch chat is pretending like this is Snowpiercer because this train is speeding up and will not ever stop. We've got Iceman 1763 with $25. They say choo choo. Icebreaker gives $25, says jumping on the train. Hyped to see hyped to see Dishonored being destroyed in the time that it takes me to get past the prison. And Miss Scratch 1313 gives $25. They say this run is so speedy I feel like I'll blink and miss it, eh? Love the run so far. One $25 train ticket, please, conductor. Well, you are welcome to board Miss Scratch.
So coming up here is the same level that we actually started the run in. This is Return to the Tower. And so that right over there, the white building in the front, is where we started in the boat in the very first second of the run. And because this is Return to the Tower, we're going to be having a bit more verticality than the last few levels. So elevators are going to be making a return. You'll also see an MLG grenade that is pretty precise, but I'll get to that.
Also, a bit of lore here. The building in front of Lurven is called the Waterlock, and it was made by Anton Sokolov.
Yeah.
So you could in fact say that Anton Sokolov made this lock.
You could say that. You could say that Anton Sokolov made this lock.
Yes.
And if not, well, it was an honor to serve with you.
So we start by just blinking up here. And then an elevator. Oh, I played nice for once.
Oh, that elevator's pretty difficult. And there's a double blink right here, which should land him right next to that potion. And then he blinks inside of here. This is the shortest level in the entire game.
Blink and you'll miss it.
Yeah, literally. He just picks up a potion, shoots its gun, and then leaves immediately. And the reason for that is because it actually spawns the target up here. The target wouldn't be there otherwise. And then if he gets into a very particular corner and just lines up a nade, bonk. That's the MLG nade. And then coming up and say 360, I think. Yeah. That's just to show off.
Yeah, it doesn't. Oh no, hard fall.
Nice hard fall.
It doesn't lose time or save time. It's just something we can do. That's another FPS trick right there.
Yeah.
Basically, it's the same one as we had on the bridge, but this one is a little bit more finicky for different reasons.
Doesn't even save 2 seconds.
Nope.
It's called
barely
Sama.
anything.
It's called Sama because it takes place in tower. So you might have noticed the names of the FPS tricks were Samble, Samalov, and Sama. That's sort of a pattern to how we name them.
Yep. They're all interacting with this lovely boat man right here, Samuel. He is our resident taxi driver, and also we spend way too much time with him over the years. We know him really well by now.
Oh yes. We probably know most of his lines by heart.
Oh yeah. What do you mean most?
Yeah, fair point.
So now we are... Yeah, the guy we just threw the grenade at is the bald guy from the introduction. So now we're just going back to the bar here to have a beer and celebrate that we took down that horrid regime he had set up.
Yep.
And just a pint with the lads, and then we're going to sleep, and then that is definitely time coming. Wait a minute.
Definitely. I think this is actually world record pace for like 5. Wait, what's this?
Oh no. Did they poison the beer?
Did this happen? Did this happen in the world record too?
I mean, yeah, but like they must have poisoned the beer. Damn it.
I thought you could skip that. Oh.
Oh well. So yeah, yeah, as it turns out, the people who have been telling us to kill people all game aren't all that great.
Yeah, almost like power corrupts or something.
Yeah. So they just put us, tried to poison us. We survived because Samuel was very nice to us. And now we're going to be spending the next 2.5 minutes here watching this cutscene. Before I send it over to some donations, I'd just like to mention that I am doing one of those storage skips we mentioned earlier. I started it right before that loading screen, and I will be holding it until I mention it further. It's about 2.5 minutes of holding out.
Yeah,
so we got time for like
until we
5
reach
donations.
the top of that elevator.
Yeah.
All right, well, I've got plenty of donations here. The tickets are being sold almost as fast as we can print them. We've got $25 from OmniJack. Says the train is coming around the station, all on board. We have a great question from Anonymous. They give $25 and say, is it still a $25 train if we're all in Samuel's boat? You know what it is. All of this is the train. We are all the train. We have $25 from Fallen One. They say, all you gotta do is follow the $25 train, CJ. Wait, wrong GTA game. Nice gives $25. They say, I want that chair. $25 train, choo-choo. And Red Mage 5 buys 10 tickets for $250. They say 400K hype. And an update there, chat. You're blowing my mind. We're at $391,800 already. Keep it up.
Right, so this is Stout, and he's actually went back to the sewers and picked up our gear that we left behind. This is it, and he did all of that just so we can throw it away in a minute.
Yeah, so this is what we were talking about earlier with equipment just popping up out of nowhere. We never picked up that case of stuff.
No.
And Dad doesn't care for it either.
It just tosses it away.
Oh, did we also mention that the storage skip that I've been holding F for the last 2 minutes saves less than a second?
Yeah, right, yeah.
So...
Blink and you'll miss it.
Whoa!
Yeah, you got it. So worth it.
Yeah, I just now gotta stretch my arm out after that. So once again, we are put into a prison. They try to keep this supernatural assassin locked into this tank by using some wooden boards at the top here. And usually that will work rather well, and we'll have to use the bricks laying right there to get out. But instead, since we are not only supernatural, but also really like glitching the game, we're just gonna go out through the wall.
Yeah, and that slip clip is actually like so famous it has its own name. It's called Brickless. It's also a very difficult one because you have to like do it mid-jump. And coming up is the map where we are supposed to confront our like sort of Dark Reflection Dowd, who's the assassin that killed the Empress. He's been corrupted by power, and they actually went really out of the way to make sure that you could not avoid confronting him. They put a key that's required to leave in the same room as him. But it turns out if you just clip out of bounds, you can skip the door that requires the key. And
yeah, they didn't actually lock the load door, just the door leading up to it. So we can just leave like that. And then that was Dowd spared. Done with him. And now we're just making our way back to the Hound Pits pub again.
Coming up is the last FPS trick. Right after he leaves this door, and it's called 2 FPS flooded. The other ones have been done at 5 FPS. This one's being done at 2 FPS. And it sort of looks weird. I'll explain it afterwards.
Oh, so it's gonna start by clipping through this door, hopefully.
That's a difficult clip, actually.
And then jumping into the water here, lower my FPS, and this is the end of the level.
Yeah, so there's a water stream there, and the lower the FPS, the faster it pushes him, and it just so happens to, like at 2 and 1 FPS, it pushes him right to the end of the level. So that's quite convenient.
And then it's the shortest level of the run. By pulling that lever, I started Samuel coming in here to pick us up. And I want to make it over there to talk to him before he makes it to the shore. So we're on a little bit of a timer here, trying to make a cycle. Yeah, that didn't hard fall, very nice. So now Samuel is running away from us while we're talking to him. So this cutscene is going to cut off when he gets out of range, and then we blink back into it, which then allows him to get out of range again. So we can once again blink into him, this time quick save and quick load, and then just get on to the next level, the last level.
You didn't teleport away.
Yeah.
That happened during practice.
Yeah, for some reason we just randomly teleported there once.
This is it, sir.
Very weird stuff. So we got time for 3 more donations.
Absolutely, the
level.
tickets are stacking up. Sabil gives $25, says, choo-choo, loving this Dishonored run and need to see some KZ Fru. And my Hull gives $25, says, I choose this game to get my first, not last, donation. Greetings from Ireland. Hello, and thank you for buying a ticket.
All right, so...
7. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, no, we are now at the last level, and this is, well, this is a lighthouse. We're going to be climbing that entire thing, so going to be using elevators again.
Yeah, the last elevator of the run.
Yeah, the last
Anyone
elevator.
deserves
Before
it,
that, though,
really.
there is a bit of pretty neat movement and another one of those double
Give my
blinks.
best to Emily.
Yeah.
Just making our way up here. That guard was nice.
Here's the last double blink. They are very satisfying to do. And here's the elevator.
A little bit different from the other ones.
Yeah, so the lighthouse is actually a different level, so we have to use the loading trigger.
So, yeah, time is coming up in about 10 seconds after I start moving here. And, yeah.
There's
Yeah,
a
you can explain the last area.
Yeah, there's a unique clip coming up here, and sort of weird out of bounds, where if he just goes under the level and then blink up twice, he's in an area they really didn't expect him to be in. And then he can, by doing a climb up there, he can clip through the floor, and that's time.
Time.
Corvo! I knew
yeah.
you'd come. Is it
That,
gonna be okay now?
Was us saving Emily twice, actually, during that run.
Twice.
First once, and then after the poisoning, we had to save her again. So I'm glad we're done with that. So right now, we're going to be doing the incentive run I had, Brigmore Witches Any %. So for that to happen, I'll need to do a little bit of configuration, so someone can explain while I do that.
Yeah, so the game is run on the 1.2 patch, which is actually which is older than the newest patch, and that's in order for the certain glitches to work. Particularly, the first FPS trick doesn't work on 1.4, and also the out of bounds in the sewers, which quite changes the run, also doesn't work on the newest patch. But the DLC was released after that patch, so he has to actually play this on the newest patch of the game. And he also needs to make certain other changes, namely his keybinds, because they're just different.
It's very good that you said that, because I kind of forgot.
Yeah.
So,
That's why I'm here.
Shortcut. Ooh. Oh, that's very nice. That is,
Yeah, RTA, that's really good.
that's really nice. 4 on 4 and then 3 on 5, because numbers are weird. And then, yep. And that is a very respectable time. I even have the in-game time was a 32:31, which is something I'm very happy about. And then just gonna do that, and I should be ready now. All right.
Right.
So to start off, there's a little bit of a difference from the main game. We're going to be starting from the actual new game button instead of from a save. And we're starting on the highest difficulty also. And I'm also going to be doing this right here to set up my mouse in a position. All of this is related to the fact that this DLC starts out with a fight instead of us starting just regularly. And since we're in a fight, we can't actually save in this game. And not being able to save at the start of the run means that starting from a save to skip cutscenes is not really ideal, because then we would have to skip this fight in its entirety for speedruns, and that's not accepted. So we just went with the solution where you have to watch the cutscene every time you reset.
Every single time.
And yeah, this is Corvo. We just played it and played Ass, and we're going to be fighting him here. This fight is actually easier on the highest difficulty, and you'll see why now.
Yeah, it's a dream sequence. There's like books flying everywhere. That's kind of obvious. And that also means that it's okay if you lose it. You can defeat Corvo, and on hardest difficulty, that's actually a very fun challenge. But for speedrunning purposes, playing on hardest difficulty and then changing it back down. Oh, you got Undertaker.
I did.
So he gets a bunch of random bone charms here, because
And-
this is sort of the sequel of the 2 DLCs. So you can actually carry over the loadout from the first DLC. And if you don't do that, just start a new game, you just get a bunch of random items. And there are 2 bone charms here that are useful. One is called Swift Stalker, which is the best one. The other one is Undertaker, which lets him carry bodies faster. And
Yeah, I can
that
run.
happens to be...
Yeah, it increases my movement speed during holding a body, and that will allow me to do one new strategy in the next level. First, though, just gonna equip some powers, like upgrade those, equip the bone charm, and then run over and talk to Thomas.
Coldridge.
Yeah, we will not be able to
can
talk
use
much
this.
about the story of this DLC. It's
tried. We'll
really
have to
fast,
pay
goes
back
by
a
really
favor.
fast. But suffice it to say, the first mission, he has to break someone out of the prison, the same prison Corvo was in the start, actually.
Yeah.
They've installed a roof this time.
Yeah, they really thwarted Corvo's plans
Yeah.
by putting in that roof.
Another thing they've done is they've installed Overseer music outside, which means he can't use his magic abilities. So he'll be doing some interesting movement to get around that. He also has a sword, so he has to just put that away to be able to move faster. And now he can't use powers while he's on this bridge, but he'll get them back once he gets inside. Right. And then he's going to toss a grenade. That is to make things not quiet, and then he's just looking for the target.
Nice.
Alright, that could have been really bad. She can be in one of 4 cells, and this is, I think, the sort of third
Second
best.
worst, yeah.
Yeah, second worst, third best, depending on how you look at it. Right now, he's going to do an attempt of a very hard trick.
Oh no, the game killed me. I didn't even kill me. The game did.
That wasn't even his fault. That was just the game going, nope. So
Yeah, that's
elevators,
the
FPS
the
dependent, and if the
FPS.
FPS randomly drops, that can happen. Are you going to attempt it again, or?
I'll do one more attempt, since that was how it died. There we go.
All right, come on.
Oh,
No,
very
that
close,
was
very close.
That was way off. Yeah, if he'd done that correctly, he would have, like that pillar would have just cancelled his full damage, and he would have been able to just skip the entire zone where he can't use powers inside. But yeah, that didn't happen, and that's fine.
Nope. Oh no. There we go.
Yeah, so he does blink there to get as far into the zone as possible, and now he's just hoping for good damage boosts.
So yeah, that would have skipped this entire running section if I was able to get that double
Yeah,
blink.
that's
But
unfortunate.
it's incredibly precise. It only works if you have that 10 extra movement speed from Undertaker or Swift Stalker. So that's really unfortunate. That I missed
Also,
it,
here
but
we
not
see.
very weird.
No. So the grenade was supposed to make the guards throw the alarm, which makes things not quiet. But since things were apparently quiet, the assassin said, "All quiet, sir, ready to go." Instead, he would have just said, "Ready to go." That's a very
So-
like small optimization.
Oh yeah, very recent as well. So right here, start of next mission, I can blink before the shop pops up, which puts me over here. So when the cutscene starts, I have to turn back around, and then I have to turn back the other way because this is where I actually want to go.
Yeah. This mission is really good. Dishonored is known for having really good level design, just for basically every game in the entire series. And this mission is, in my opinion, the best the entire series has. It consists of 4 large areas. We'll be seeing 3 of them, and you will like have to go back and forth if you want to like complete it completely. It is a really neat mission. Oh no.
Edgar. Okay. No, that's not even Edgar. This is Edgar.
Let's get this guy.
Aw. So
Yeah,
yeah, he
that's
can move
how it goes.
around randomly, and if he moves around in that basement in the wrong way, the grenade won't hit. So that is a famous run killer and really typical marathon that he decided to move there.
Yeah. But yeah, so he's now installed the gang leader he got out of prison in charge of this gang, and she has a boat, and Dowd wants to be on that boat. But unfortunately, the boat doesn't work, so he has to get an engine coil from the other gang, the rivaling gang, who are in the textile mill. So he's just running over to them to be able to get that one. And there's actually a lot of ways to get it. There's a code for a door that he needs to open, and he can either have a guy tell it to him, doing a favor for him. He can do a favor for some other guy who'll just, like, will tell him the code as well. He can also just brute force the code. He can figure the code out on his own, or he can just clip out of bounds and do it that way.
Just go and get it like that.
Yeah, these clips are actually all like very technical and like subtly different.
Yeah, it's really quite precise. And some of them, like, you move sideways, some you move diagonally, sometimes you look up, sometimes you flick down. They're very different. They're very fun to learn, but they're kind of hard as well.
Yeah, and coming up is the last part of this mission. So once he places the engine coil, 4 witches are going to spawn, and he's going to have to deal with them. So he's going to use sleep darts. And it's very important here that he does not hit any of the thugs, because if he does, then they'll all aggro, and that is a run killer.
Yep.
That didn't happen. That's fine.
Yeah, thankfully. They all played nice.
Yeah. That was actually pretty good. And then this is the final mission. There's a clip that really doesn't look like it should work, but it does. Yeah.
There we go. Did that without quick saving, so that was foolish. But yeah, this allows us to get under the map. We can swim over to where we want to go. Usually you have to do like a mini quest to get access to this entrance, but we don't really care about quests. We just want to go fast, so we just swim under everywhere to get here. And
Yeah,
now
and since that was so fun, we're gonna do it again.
Yeah. So we're out of bounds for basically the entire rest of this section. Go get this lamp. Go back
It's going
out
to
of
be
bounds.
used to open a painting. It makes sense, trust us.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's to get into this painting so that we can save Emily again.
Yeah. You know,
always
you
saving
really
Emily,
think
isn't
she'd
it?
be able to save herself one of these days. Maybe the sequel.
Maybe. We'll have to wait until 2016 to see.
So right after this cutscene is the final boss fight, and it's sort of interesting. So once he sleep darts Delilah, there's going to be 4 clones of her spawning, and there's actually sort of an AI manipulation that I found by accident, where he shoots a sleep dart over here, which will then alert all of the clones to look in that direction when they spawn.
There we go.
There we go. And then you'll see here, none of the clones managed to notice the other clones being knocked out. And
The
then
time is coming up right now. Time. Yeah, that's the Brigmore Witches. That's a painting of Emily that we just saved Emily from getting like her soul taken by Delilah or something. It's kind of weird.
It makes sense, trust us.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
And
time to rescue Emily.
yeah, so that was Dishonored 90% and Brigmore Witches. And
No one.
at the end here, I'd just really like to give a huge shout out first to someone else for doing this with me and preparing for a long time and everything. Huge shout outs to most of the people that we heard donations from earlier, people from the Dishonored community and stuff we've heard like
Killed your empress.
thank you so much.
Took her daughter.
Huge thanks to everyone who's worked on either of the routes. We got Discord. You can find this game's leaderboards on speedrun.com/Dishonored. And it has a bunch of resources. We have an almost 2-hour-long video guide that explains how to do the any percent run if you have any questions at all. And you can also just ask those questions in the Discord and we'll help you out.
For a man with innocent
Yeah, the game is actually not that sort of difficult to learn. It's a very good first speed game.
Yep. It's really, really easy to get into, even though it might have
Yeah.
looked pretty precise right now. So yeah, thanks for having us. Thank you so much for hanging out and for all the encouragement.
Thanks for the donations.
And yeah, definitely huge shout outs
pretty
to
good ones.
MSF as well.
Welcome back to Summer Games Done Quick 2021 online. What a run. Pair of runs, really. It's so fast. I could hardly keep up with it. Love the movement in that game. It's just so fun to watch. I have the biggest stack of tickets to the hype train right here. So we're going to start reading some of them. We've got $25 from Summer that says, I'm buying a ticket for the train. I hope I'm not too late. If I miss this train, I'd never live down the dishonor. Well, Summer, I've got great news for you. It's never too late to buy a ticket for this train. We've got Dan Cat 7 with $50. They say tickets for 2 on the train to 400K. Choo-choo! Thank you so much, Dan Cat. We are at $393,000. So close to 400K. I'm sure we can hit that in just a little bit. Chat, you are being fantastic. Thank you so much for all of the donations. Everyone out there, this is wonderful. I've got Victor Prime with $25. They say, it ain't GDQ without KZ Fru Hype Train. Brendan with $25. They say, I've been waiting to watch Dishonored all week. Absolutely one of my favorite games. Brendan, thank you for the ticket. Glad you liked it. It was such a blast. Assistance gives $50. That's 2 tickets. They say, all aboard the hype train. Great work, and let's get GTA. Just an update. This ticket is not only heading us towards 400K, it's also heading us towards Grand Theft Auto 3, the bonus game, We're at 57,000 out of 90,000 there. We've got a few hours for that, so make sure you're keeping this train rolling, and we'll get there in smooth sailing. Oh, I've got a great question here from Anonymous. They give $50. They say, question for chat. What is the correct number of chuggas to say before choo-choo on a donation train? Chat, I'm going to let you figure that out. And I've got $100 from Anonymous. They say, love GDQ, love DWB. It's a no-brainer. Thank you for the 4 tickets there. And we are going to take a quick break. We will be right back. Welcome back to SGDQ 2021. I am still handing out tickets. In fact, I just handed out 2 tickets to Sunny Alice. They donated $50. Said might be a tall neck order, but it would be amazing if we could get to 500,000 before the end of the day. Let's go SGDQ. If I know one thing, it's to never underestimate SGDQ, the crowd, the chat, everybody. You all are just fantastic. We are going to take a little break here and hear from Annapurna Interactive.
Why do they need assassins in heaven? To do someone's dirty work. God's judgment has nothing to do with it.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Summer Games Done Quick 2021 online, powered by Twitch. We are getting cozy. We are right in the thick of some great speed runs, and these are going to continue the whole week. I've got so many donations here, so many tickets to the train. You all are fantabulous. In fact, we are less than $6,000 away from 400,000. What an awesome pace we're at. This is fantastic. I've got $50 from Hagalaz. They say, I only discovered Horizon Zero Dawn at the end of last year, and it easily became one of my favorite games of the last decade. Thanks for giving it the attention it deserves. They're, of course, talking about our next game, Horizon Zero Dawn. One of my favorites. If you told me I would be able to play a game about shooting robot dinosaurs with a bow and arrow, I would not have believed you. But we live in such a fantastic time, don't we? Got some more tickets here, including 2 to Braylon. They give $50. Says, SGDQ is one of the highlights of the summer, and we must have extra content. Donating towards the bonus game, Grand Theft Auto 3, to keep this train moving. Braylon, thank you for your tickets. I hope you get a comfy seat with your friend. Fuzzy70726 gives $25. Ticket punched for the Dono train. Choo-choo. Oh, and I'm gonna chip in on this conversation about how many chuggas before the choo-choo. I give it 8. I say chugga 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 choo-choo. That's my role. I've got $250 from Commander Keen. Says, gotta see that GTA 3. Commander Keen, thank you so much. We're at almost 58,000 out of 90,000 for that. Chat, you're doing amazing. You're so cute. I'm loving this. I'm feeling that energy. Thank you. I've got $50 from Kara Corgi. They say, I am so excited for the Horizon speedrun. This was one of the first games that lit my passion for gaming in general. Kara, I love to hear that. I love hearing about how people get into this hobby, the first speedruns they see, the first games they play. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. I've got $50 from Zeto Viker. They say, must have Smolnek plush. That is an adorable plush, one of many fabulous prizes available here at SGDQ 2021 online. More ticket. I got more ticket. People are jumping on this train while it's moving. Be safe, everyone. $25 from Beatlift says choo choo for the KZ Fru Fru. Love it. $50 from Dot Sidious, $25 train, but I'm watching with a friend. Going towards making Snake wear a tuxedo because every part of that is hilarious. Dot Sidious there is referencing one of our bonus incentives here for Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater HD. There's a tuxedo suit incentive that's down the line. It's got 8,400 right now out of 20,000. So let's do it in this order. Let's hit that 400K by getting Grand Theft Auto 3 unlocked. And then let's get that suit on Snake. Because, I mean, when you're hearing Snake Eater, you've got to see someone in a suit. That's just the mood, right? Melina gives $125. They said, I love Dishonored so much, so I had to donate during this amazing run. Thank you, Melina. That was such a fabulous run. I love watching that game. Boy, they beat it faster than I could even get through the credits, honestly. $50 from the Muznik. Says, I heard something about some sort of 400K hype train. I'd like 2 tickets, please. Muznik, thank you. Take your seat at the back. We are cruising. In fact, we are now less than 5,000 away from the 400K goal. Keep it rolling. Here's more tickets coming in. One for J-Buck for $25. They say, here's my ticket for this train. And $25 from Golfrishi. They say, all aboard. Let's get GTA 3 on the docket. With this energy, chat, there is no way that we're going to miss this. Keep it up. Keep it going. Hop and Pop gives $25. They say, listen, I'm trying really hard here to pace my donations out over the week, but when I hear about a donation train, I just got to be on it. We need that GTA 3 run. Chugga chugga gang. Thank you so much for the ticket. And yeah, you don't want to miss this train. The refreshments we're serving, we're showing in-train entertainment. They are speed runs. They are a blast. XC gives $25. They say this donation train is moving so fast that we'll blink and be at 400,000 already. Oh, we're moving. We made $300 come in just in the time between reading the last 2 things. This is just making me all misty inside. I love all this support for such a great cause. Thank you so much. Speaking of a great cause, just a reminder that all of this generosity from you is going towards Doctors Without Borders. Doctors Without Borders, or MSF, is an international medical humanitarian aid organization that works in over 70 countries around the world, providing life-saving medical humanitarian care and speaking out about what they see in those areas. Their work aids people based solely on need, irrespective of race, religion, gender, or political affiliation. MSF relies mainly on the generosity of individual donors, with over 90% of MSF's income coming from private donors giving small amounts. I've got $25 from Minimo. They say Horizon is one of my favorite games of all time. I've beaten it every way imaginable, but I'm no speedrunner, so let's see how it's really done. Minimo, hang on. You're about to see it. It's going to be fantastic. And everyone, that is going to do it for me. I have been your host, THEKyleThomas. This has been an absolute honor. So happy to be here. Be well, be good to each other. Thank you for your generosity. We're going to take it over to Feasel, interviewing KZ Frew about Grand Theft Auto 3. Take it away, y'all.
Hello, everybody. I'm Feasel, and I am here interviewing KZ Frew, who's the runner of Grand Theft Auto 3, a bonus game that may be coming up right after the next run, provided that you, the audience, can get us past that goal. So hello, KZ Frew, and thank you very much for talking with me today.
Going on, Feezy?
All right. Well, I got some questions for you.
All right, shoot.
Okay. So these Grand Theft Auto games, they tend to make excellent speedruns. There's a lot of great Grand Theft Auto speedruns out there. But GTA 3 in particular, what makes that unique compared to the other games in the series?
Well, as far as questions go, that's an easy one, Feezy. So GTA 3 is specifically interesting, right? It's the first time they explored the third dimension for the third title. Very sophisticated stuff. And because it is the earliest iteration of these games, it also has some exclusive tech, as we like to call it. So, for example, Claude, main character Claude, man's got the hops, all right? He's got the hops. Everybody always asks me, like, what's your favorite mission? What's your favorite radio station? No one asks me who has the best hops. Well, I will tell you who has the best hops. It's Claude. I will jump from one island to the other. Seriously, the entire chasm crossed. Only Claude can do that. What do you think, Tommy's gonna do it? Tommy can fly a helicopter, that's cool, okay? Claude can hop, all right? So we're gonna be doing a lot of hopping. We're gonna be doing just a lot of interesting things with the replay system. You know, I explained to you earlier, Feasel, about demos in games. GTA 3 actually has the same sort of feature, but they didn't implement it with the best. I mean, it's fine. It's fine. It is good. It is good. But there's things you can do. So we can basically have two Claudes at once. We can be in one place, but really also be in another place. And that creates really interesting things. And just exactly what does that change in the run? Some of that you'll have to tune in for. Drop those $90,000, people, please.
That's right. We're close. We're most of the way there.
We are.
So yeah, I think this demo feature, it's a pretty interesting thing because they put it in there so that you can record your runs. And that's a pretty, you know, for that time, have a demo recording feature built into, you know, a game like this is pretty new. But it's interesting because it's not just like happening in the sandbox. Like it's kind of, there's kind of this blurring of the line between like reality and what's going on in your recording, right? So there's just all kinds of abuses of that technology there.
Definitely. At some point, like the wanted level, you know, the cop attention that you might receive for Grand Theft of Auto, at some point, that doesn't necessarily matter. We can just infinitely bribe the cops away with this little implementation. It makes for really interesting stuff. There's also just a lot of exploits that you can do with this that aren't really done in any percent. Right? In any percent, we're just critical pathing, beginning to end, boom, boom, just get there, get it done. But there's just so many facets to it that are really interesting.
So I know there's a lot of like breakable mechanics in this game that you can use in addition to just the replays. Are there any particular cool tricks or cool sections of the game that you really want to draw people's attention to? Like, what do you really think is going to get the crowd going in this run?
Oh man, so
yeah, where to begin, right?
Where to begin? That's why it's the bonus game, man. That's why the money is so high for it. It is such. I could go on all day about it, but I'll try to give you the 411 for the GTA 3. So the start of this run, it is pretty technical. It's pretty broken. It's pretty glitchy. You're going to see a lot of strange replays right out the gate. You're going to see me just finish missions. How to just magically finish missions? You gotta donate to find out.
Mm-hmm.
And the middle section of the game, that's just pretty much just classic, straight up, speedy GTA. You're driving, you're shooting, you're doing everything. You close your eyes, you picture Grand Theft Auto. That's probably what I'm doing. Going around, blowing things up, causing havoc. It's all good stuff. Now, the last stage of this run, it's pretty easy to divide it up because there's 3 islands in Grand Theft Auto 3. Seen a lot of that number here for some reason. But there's 3 islands, so you got the first, the second, and then when you get to the third, you get to the airport. Now, the airport's fun because you get the plane, you get the dodo. Some people probably remember the dodo if you play GTA 3. Probably wasn't able to get very far off the ground, you know, like a child taking the first steps. You're going to stumble a lot, maybe fall over. Well, I've been walking for a long time and also flying the dodo for a long time. So I know exactly the moves, calculus in my brain happening at light speed. I know exactly what to do to make that thing fly and soar over the buildings where they don't even render the rooftops because they don't think you're going to get up there. But we get up there in the run, man. We get up there. We go to the moon. We don't go to the moon. The moon's pretty big, though, in this game.
It's pretty fun.
So I would recommend, obviously, that people check out the whole thing. But if you really want to see the magic happen, the late stages, the dodo flying, now that is spectacular. Every time somebody's in my chat like, I didn't know you could fly this thing. Well, there you go, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we tune in for GDQ, to see things happen that we don't even think we're going to see happen.
Well, you excited for the run? You think we're going to make it?
We're going to make it, man.
We're going to make it. I know we are.
There's 4 ways we can make it. Okay. Now follow me very close. There's 4 ways to make it. Cash, money, dollar, bills.
Okay.
We're going to need all of that. We're going to need all the support, all the chat, draw all the energies. We got an APB out for checkbooks and credit cards. Just please send us what you can. Make sure you donate for the incentive, the bonus game. Please make it happen. I would have the time of my life, and I'm sure I would bring everything I can to the table for the people at home. So, and for GDQ and for MSF.
Absolutely. I 100% believe it. It does sound like this is a pretty amazing run, and I, for one, am looking forward to it. Well, that is all the time that we have. Thank you very much, KZ, for talking with me here.
No problem, Feasel.
All right. And if you in the audience want to see this GTA 3 run happen, now is your chance to get those donations in. We're most of the way there. You have until the end of this next run. So stick around for Horizon Zero Dawn up next.
What's going on, everybody? And welcome back once again to Summer Games Done Quick 2021 Online. I am Mr. Game and Shout, and I cannot tell you how happy I am to be here with you all once again, doing one of my favorite things in a place that is a safe and very comfortable distance with many locked doors away from a particular stuffed monster that might not be named. Okay, we are going to get a couple of donations in here while we're still getting set up. I have a $254 donation from Mott that says Express Train to 400K coming through. Oh, we just got it. I see it there. It's on the board. $400,000.